All right, welcome to day 7 of Advent of Code 2024. Let's do this thing.
How did you bit shift in Python?
Okay, that was not as bad as I expected. Today I got rank 437 for part 1 and 291 for part 2, finishing in about 6.5 minutes overall. Today's a bit of a math day. We're given a set of lines where every line has a first test value and a bunch of numbers. Our goal is to turn the numbers into an expression such that it equals the test value. Now, what we can do is insert add instructions and multiply instructions between the numbers, and then execute it from left to right, evaluate to see if it can equal the test value. So for example, in this first one, 10, 19, we can insert a multiply instruction between them to get them to multiply to 190. In this instruction, for example, 292, we want to get it through 11, 6, 16, and 20, and it can be solved in exactly one way, 11 plus 6 times 16 plus 20. Now the thing to note is that this problem does not consider order of operations. We always evaluate from left to right, so in this case we don't do the 6 times 16 first. That was something I misinterpreted. What we're supposed to do is do 11 plus 6, so that's 17, times 16 gives you 272, and then add 20 gives you 292. Our goal is to basically test all of these combinations of adds and multiplies between the numbers to see if it can equal the test value. So how I did this in Python was with the itertools library. To read the input first, we go through all the lines, and then every line has two distinct parts. It has the test part and then the numbers part. So the value I got by taking the first element of the parts, which we get by splitting by spaces. And then we also have to delete the colon character and then turn that into an integer. And then the actual numbers are the second part, which we split again by spaces and then turn all those into integers. Now, what we're going to do is iterate through all possible combinations of plus and multiply instructions between the numbers. So what this looks like for part 1 is we have a tuple of plus and multiply, which are generated through this product method in the itertools library. What product does is it takes an iterable, in this case it's a string consisting of these two characters, and it can repeat them however many times you want. So in this case we want len of numbers minus 1 because we're inserting in between every pair of numbers. So for every one of these tuples, we want to see if it creates the correct test value, and we have a quick little function here to basically evaluate a given combination. What we do is go through all of the numbers, start with the first number, and then for every instruction, if it's an add, you add the next number, and if it's a multiply, you multiply the next number. At the end, you return. So this just is an evaluation function. At first, I used eval. It wasn't correct, so had to write this little custom function. Now, for every single possible combination of adds and multiplies, we test if the combination is valid. If so, then we add the value to our answer. For part 2, we're given a third operator, the concatenation operator, that allows us to join the current value with the next value. So all we have to do here is just add another line in the test combination function. If we have a pipe character, I simplified it to pipe, 1 instead of 2 because that just made things a little bit faster, I think. Then we can join the numbers by, I used an f-string expression, so you take the current number and then the next number and then you just join them into a string and then turn that back into an integer. And the other modification we have to make is in this product function we have not just adds and multiplies but also pipes. So this is going to do 3 to the power of length nums minus 1 combinations, and you can see here this is an example of a tuple of instructions that works. Again, we just add every single test value that has a valid combination to the answer, and then at the end print that out. So that's it for day 7 of Advent of Code 2024. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down below, and my code is also linked to in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 8.